My girl best friend is getting married in 4 weeks, but just confessed to me that she loves me more than she loves her fiance, hoping I feel the same way. Original poster, u/throwaway WW24. My, 35 meters, friend Bree, 35 feet, just told me she loves me 4 weeks before her wedding, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here. I want to know if I'm doing the right thing. To give some context, I lost my wife 2 years ago. I have a 5-year-old daughter. I haven't dated in the last 2 years because I'm dealing with major trauma from losing my wife. I still love her deeply and don't think I'm ready to move on. For the last 2 years, I've invested all my time in my daughter, who looks exactly like her mother, and my work to keep my sanity. I've been friends with Bree since we were in elementary school. We grew up in the same neighborhood and we're best friends. She's an awesome person, and we were inseparable. The funny thing is, we have completely different personalities. She's very outgoing and always had lots of friends, while I'm a big introvert, and Bree and a few close friends were all I needed. Bree was a serial dater, and I don't remember a time since middle school when she was single. However, Bree and I never dated. We also went to the same college. She never had a stable boyfriend, just went from one relationship to another. I, on the other hand, didn't date seriously until junior year, when I met my wife. She was a freshman, and we hit it off instantly. We fell for each other and spent all our time together. This put a strain on my friendship with Bree, as I generally hung out with my wife instead of her. That's when Bree and I slowly started drifting apart. After college, I moved to a different town for my job. Bree and I occasionally messaged, but nothing beyond that. She attended my wedding, and that was the last time I saw her in person. We kept in touch, mostly through comments on each other's photos or updates on major life events. Bree did reach out when my wife passed away, and we had a phone conversation. Last year, Bree and her fiance moved to my city. I was still grieving, and both of them have been an amazing support for me and my daughter. My daughter loves dancing, and Bree helped me enroll her in dance and gymnastics classes and sometimes takes her to them. I also became good friends with her fiance, who is an incredibly good man. My daughter loves Auntie Bree, and sometimes Bree helps me with babysitting. Last week, Bree came to my house and asked if we could talk. She sounded serious. She told me that over the last few months, she feels she started to develop feelings for me and isn't sure anymore if she wants to go ahead with the wedding. She also felt that I had started developing feelings for her. I told her that I'm not ready for any relationship until I can work through my mental health issues. I see a therapist regularly for this. She tried to convince me that she loved me, that we are soulmates, and that we're meant to be together. However, I don't feel the same way. I love her as a friend, but nothing beyond that. We were both emotional, but she said she was glad we had talked. She left afterward. That night, Bree called me and told me not to talk to anyone about our conversation. After thinking it over, I decided not to tell her fiancé about our conversation. I feel it's their relationship, and I don't have the right to disrupt things if Bree decides to go ahead with the wedding. However, I feel guilty that her fiancé doesn't know about this and might be entering a marriage where Bree isn't fully committed. Can you offer any suggestions on what I should do in this situation? Am I wrong for not telling her fiancé about our conversation? Relevant comment. She has commitment issues and is getting cold feet about the wedding, and you are probably her exit strategy. I would not lose a good friend over this but would wait and see what occurs. Don't involve yourself in speaking to her partner. She probably would not permanently commit to you either, but she does sound like someone to have as a friend. Update 1. A month ago, I made a post about my friend Bree telling me that she loved me, just 4 weeks before her wedding. The last month has been crazy, and my whole world has turned upside down. After Bree told me that she loved me, I told her that I was still not ready to move on, as I still miss my wife. She said she understood, and I didn't hear from her or Jason for a few days. The guilt was killing me, as I wasn't sure if I should tell Jason what she had said to me. Thanks to everyone who commented on the post, it helped me think the situation through. I finally called Bree after a few days and asked her to meet me for lunch. I talked to her and asked if she was still going ahead with her wedding. She broke down and told me she wasn't sure. I told her that she should at least talk to Jason about her feelings and not be dishonest with him. I also assured her that I wouldn't say anything to Jason, but I just wanted her to be happy. She said she understood and left. That night, after I put my daughter to sleep and was watching TV, around 9:30 p.m., I heard a loud knock on my door. It was Jason. I opened the door, and he was in tears. He started yelling at me, asking why I had to steal Bree, of all people. I tried to calm him down, but he just kept shouting. I tried to get him to sit down on the bench on our porch. I told him my daughter was sleeping upstairs, but he was slowly getting more and more physical. He punched me in the face, and I was able to push him off. I told him to get out of my house, and he sat in his truck and drove away. I immediately called Bree, and she was crying and didn't sound well on the phone. She told me she had told Jason that she couldn't marry him because she had feelings for me. I was really scared for her after the physical altercation with Jason and told her to gather some clothes and get out of the house. She did that and came to my place. I didn't feel she was safe with Jason. I consoled her for almost 2 hours and was able to get her to sleep. The next morning, we had to call her parents to let them know what had happened. Bree kept a brave face, but I could see how much she was hurting. Her parents asked her to take a few days off and immediately come back home, which she did. She flew out that evening. Over the next 2 weeks, the wedding was called off. Bree and I were talking every day, and she was just very exhausted. She talked to Jason a few times, and he kept asking her to take more time to think. However, I think Bree just wanted to get out of it and decided to break it off with Jason. Currently, Bree has been staying with us for the last 2 weeks. She still has a job here and started going back to work last week. I've talked to Bree in detail about what happened. She told me that she and Jason had been dating on and off for the last 4 years. Jason is not very career-oriented, while Bree is very good at her job. She said she felt he was a nice and reliable person but was unsure about him from the start. She felt that she was not getting any younger, and that's why they decided to get married. When she heard about my wife passing away, she felt really bad and wanted to be around me to comfort me. When she got a big promotion, which meant she could work in a corporate office, she immediately chose my city and moved here. Jason also moved here and got a new job. She never had any romantic feelings for me back then. As she started spending time with my daughter and me, she began feeling the bond we shared when we were growing up, except, I was the broken one, and she was taking care of me. She said that she realized she was enjoying her time with us more than with Jason. She realized she made a mistake with Jason and that what she wanted was right in front of her. So, she slowly started thinking about me in that way and finally told me about it. She knew her relationship with Jason was over the moment she confessed to me. It's a crappy situation, but I'm glad she realized that before getting married, rather than after. As for Jason, I feel bad for him. He is moving back to our hometown, closer to his family. He is currently staying in their apartment and will move sometime next month. I know a lot of you may be curious if we are dating. We are not. I don't think I can date anyone right now, and neither should Bree. She is my friend, and I'm happy that she is staying with us. She plans to be here until everything is sorted out. My daughter loves having Auntie Bree around, too, so that's a bonus. Plus, it's really nice to see her slowly get back to normal. Thanks again for helping me during my last post. Cheers. Relevant comments. Comment 1. I know you didn't deserve to be punched. But for Jason, you, his friend, was the one who stole her, so I can't blame him. I'd honestly not be this supportive of her. It cannot do her any good in the long term to still be living this fantasy life with you. No matter how much you tell her, on some level, she's going to believe you'll change your mind. That 2 weeks is going to stretch on. You're not exactly proving Jason wrong from his POV, are you? You are living together. Response. I never thought Jason was capable of punching anyone. He is a very soft-spoken guy. But, that night he looked scary and out for blood. I understand what you are saying. However, she is a very old friend, and it's frankly very sad seeing what she just went through. I am sure, she will slowly get back to normal and needs a friend right now on her side. Comment 2. I think your friend Bree already had doubts and used you as a means of getting out of the relationship. Kinda messed up that she dragged you into her mess. Just make sure you are setting firm boundaries with her, so that you don't get sucked into more of that drama. Response. To be honest, I also thought the same. I think she just needed a reason since she was never really committed to the relationship, and I was right there. We never discussed her telling me she loved me once, since she moved in with us. Update 2. I made a post 9 months ago about my friend Bree telling me that she loved me just a few weeks before she was supposed to get married. For context, I lost my wife 3 years ago, and we have a 6-year-old daughter. Bree and her fiance, Jason, moved to our town a year ago, and Bree confessed her feelings for me just weeks before her wedding. Things went south quickly, and Bree ended up breaking up with Jason and canceling the wedding. She was staying with us when I last shared an update. People have been messaging me to find out what happened afterward. I wanted to maintain our privacy, especially since many of our family members saw the video and recognized my post. They didn't know about the assault by Jason, and I had to reassure everyone that we were safe and okay. I'm feeling particularly happy this week, so I thought I'd share an update. Firstly, the reason Bree moved in with us while Jason was still in town was because I had a temporary restraining order, TRO, against him. Bree also filed for one but was denied, as he had never directly threatened her safety. She said she felt secure with us because of the TRO, and I agreed. Jason didn't cause any issues after that, though he continued texting Bree, asking her to work on their relationship. Eventually, he moved back to our hometown in February, and we haven't heard from him since. Bree got her own apartment once Jason left town, but she remained very much a part of our daily lives. I enjoyed having her around, and my daughter loves her. In April, Bree brought up the idea of us dating again. I explained that I wasn't over my wife's death and didn't want to be unfair to her because I still love my late wife deeply. Bree told me she knew she could never replace my wife, nor did she want to. She shared a beautiful analogy. She said my heart is like a big pot. It holds a lot of love for my late wife, but it also made room for more love when my daughter was born. Loving her wouldn't erase my love for my wife or daughter, it would simply mean there's more room in my heart than I realized. I took a month to think it over, talking to my mom and my late wife's mom, my mother-in-law, both of whom encouraged me to give a relationship with Bree a chance. We officially started dating in May, and it's been surprising how quickly we fell in love. I think the strong foundation of our friendship helped a lot. The last 6 months have been amazing, and I've never seen my daughter so happy. She's a big chatterbox now and insists that Bree comes to all her school events and recitals. Sometimes, I feel a little jealous of their bond and even a bit left out of their little chats. The reason I'm writing this update is because I'm planning to propose to Bree this Christmas. It's not a surprise proposal. We went engagement ring shopping last weekend and finalized the ring. We also have wedding plans for next summer. I know it seems quick, but I can't imagine spending the rest of my life with anyone else. Bree deserves to officially be part of our family. My daughter is thrilled, and she and Bree are already shopping for dresses for the engagement photo shoot. Our families couldn't be happier, and we plan to get engaged at a small gathering of family and friends over Christmas weekend in our hometown. I know some people judged me for taking Bree in after she left Jason, and others judged her for leaving him at the altar. Life isn't easy, trust me, and things don't always go as planned. But I'm grateful Bree found the courage to tell me how she felt back then. Thank you all again for your support on my last post.